not knowing that this demon is looking on, this bad character, this dark shadow of a person, the text says. He realizes that if this younger brother of Ganesh should be fully taught and inculcated with the positive, with the separate knowledge that he's about to get, and he joins forces with Ganesh and Kartik, the demons, the devas, would have gotten a very strong hero. They would become more invincible. So you know what? I am going to infiltrate this family. I am going to give him bad advice. I am going to take him along a different path. And when he goes back into that house, he's going to cause conflict amongst brothers. He's going to cause confusion. And as a result, when they separate, I will be able to destroy that home very easily. And he starts to follow Mom like a shadow. And he goes where he's going. Where he's going to pray to Ganesh Baba. And he calls on Ganapati Baba. And he says, brother, when he does appear, he says, brother, may you allow me to be a very powerful king. May you allow me to be able to overcome all those that face me on the battlefield. I would like to be as valorous as yourself. I want to be as valorous as Brother Kartik. Ganesh Baba says, you need to do more job. You need to do more tapasya. You need to do more prayer. May you continue along this line, and I will grant your wish. And when Ganesh Baba leaves, Shamba Asur comes in the guise of a pandit. And he says, O child, O Shishya, I have come here to impart to you the knowledge to win over the love of your brother. He can be vardhan, the blessing that you so seek. But he teaches him methods that are not subtle. He gives him with prayers the methods that lead down a different path. Prayers that cannot be stopped because of the nature of this prayer. Prayer that has to be repeated time and time again. An innocent mom, he starts to bow his head now to Guru Shamba Asur. Shamba Asur teaches him all the black magic. That type of prayer that does not lead to mukti, but leads to power. He starts to train him away from the path of humility, away from the path of forgiveness, but towards the path of brute force. So that when a person faces you, oh mom, oh beloved child, may you prepare all weapons and show no mercy to that person. May you never forgive them, but may you be swift punisher. This demon creates an entire illusion of an ashram, so that mom becomes part of this ashram. And amongst the illusion, he sees children, he sees other people engaged in studies at this ashram. So powerful was the deceptive magic, the maya of this demon, that mom never realized he was really by himself. Shamba Asur went one step further, and without the knowledge of his parents, mom agreed to marry the daughter, Mohini, that one that would entice. The daughter of this demon, Mohini, sometimes pronounced Mohan. She is now going to get married to this son, mom. And why? Was it love? It wasn't for love. It was a means, it was a ploy to control him. How could mom, if he should ever realize the truth or the true nature of Shamba Asur, how could he then damage his father-in-law? When he makes a promise in the wedding that should they ever need help, should they ever be in want, he's going to help provide. Mom does not wait to discuss it with parents. Guruji is speaking, and as a result, he listens. And he goes one step further now. Whilst he's doing his job, Ganesh Baba comes and he says, brother, you will be successful. You've been doing the job for how long? And when he gives up the job, when he's having accomplished his desires, he spends time with Moini. And from her, he gets Dharma and Adharma, his two sons. And as time passes, the true guru of the demonic or the deities, the demonic family, Shukracharya or the planet Venus, that personality, he comes to speak to who is now, is not Mum, but Mama Asur, or the demon known as Mum, because he belongs now to that family. They took him totally, and their ways became his ways. Their mode of life, their practices, their rituals became his rituals. And instead of following his father, he started to follow his father-in-law. Shukracharya tells him, son, you are leading this demonic family now. You are one of the strongest ones we have. But remember, never, oh child, never oppose your bigger brother, Gyan. Whatever power, whatever blessing you have today, it is because of his blessings to you. Never go against him, else you're going to find yourself in a lot of problems. When he says this, obviously, Mama Asur says, yes, Guruji, I will definitely listen to your words. Whilst Shukracharya is leaving, Indra asks Guruji, Shukracharya, you are always encouraging the younger ones, those members of the demonic families. You're always guiding them on how to overthrow the good and godly people. What is your interest in this son of Mario? He's not from that family. Remember this part. He is not from that family. He is not born to demonic parents. Then why would you expect him to act in accordance with your statute of laws and your way of life? And Shukracharya says that when a person becomes blinded in this world by Maya due to their karma, you will come from what? He says that tiger will act as an ant, and an ant can act and become a tiger. He said there's no limitation to the person. So great is a person's soul that a person can attain the heights once they do the prescribed actions. Or a person can fall to the depths from where they are if they do the prescribed actions. And Indra, he asked the question, what are you talking about? How? What are you saying? That a person can be born with certain gifts, with certain traits. What actions could pull down a person? What are these activities that could hinder a person's growth? What past actions could affect a person's present? What exactly are you talking about? And Shukracharya goes into a description that is echoed by Lord Vishnu in Garuda Purana, Great Manjari. And Karan, I believe I read some of this done by your father. Let's hear it. For the benefit of all those of you listening, for those of you abroad, especially the family in Maryland and in Miami, this is to answer your question. Let's join together as Lord Vishnu is describing. Just what Shukracharya is saying. When people make certain activities, actions, Before I repeat what I'm about to explain, let me make this very clear. I'm not talking about any person here or elsewhere. Secondly, this is the section, for clarification, this is the section that explains why God makes or allows people to be born with different type of disease, different type of problems in their life. And as we go along, you'll understand. There are many descriptions here, but because of time, we will only do some. He says, Garuji is asking Lord Vishnu, could you please tell me how would a person know the mistakes, the sins that they would have already committed? When people talk about your sins, your past actions, how are you going to atone for those things when you don't know what you've done? He says, but Garu, you know, I allow those signs to be upon your body so that a person seeing these things upon their body, the purpose of it being there is not for anybody to laugh at another person that, oh, you fool, you've done X, Y, and Z, but for a person to realize the mistakes that they've made and to ask for forgiveness. Asking for forgiveness, doing positive action so that you get away from the sins of the past. This is what is called praschit karma, repenting. He says, let me give you some examples. He says that child, whether male or female, through pride, feeling that they know more than the teacher, they insult the teacher. The person who disrespects the teacher in this way, oh Garu, in your next life, I let such a person be born with epilepsy. Because the brain cannot function 100%. Because whilst you were 100%, apparently your brain wasn't working 100%. The person who can speak the Vedas, the Shastras, the Puranas, etc., in your next life, you are plagued with jaundice. He said the person who bears false witness in your next life, he cannot speak. The person who interferes, this is a serious one, the person who interferes with a marriage, gets in between married people, wants to cause strife and destruction in your next life, upon their body, the sign that shows you've done this, the lip, it is non-existent. It is as if The flesh is meaty. There's no inkling. There's no little reach out. The person who steals books and information, who hides information. In your next life, I reward you with eyes that do not look. You are born blind. The person who enjoys speaking lies, in the next life, they are born with a stutter or a stammer. And the person who enjoys listening to gossip and lies and untruth, in the next life, they are born deaf. The person who enjoys burning or causing fire to hit another person's land or home, in their next life, they develop what is called baldness on their hair. They lose their head on their head. The person who steals food, the person who takes food without saying thank you or asking for that food, in your next life, I make that person a rat. The person who steals poison or chemicals, in your next life I make you a scorpion. The person who steals clothing or cotton, in your next life I make you born into a sheep's womb till you become the cotton. The person who deceives a friend. You know, when you have a true friend or you consider somebody a friend and you cheat that friend, in your next life, I make you a scavenger, a vulture, what we train out called a kobo. The person who destroys affection, the person who abandons his wife, in your next life, you become an unruly goose. And this is where I really wanted to read. For the person that hates their mother, hates their father, their guru, for that person that is always in strife or in argument with their sister or their brother, for the person that carries out, and please remember this one, this is our take on the whole abortion act. The person who destroys the embryo while it is developing in the womb, you are reborn. Especially for the person that despises the mother and father. You are reborn in the womb where you go through the months of development, the heat, the temperature, the squeezing, and all that comes with that, according to our text. But when it is time for you to born, where you will be able to do prayers of good works to uplift yourself, you are cancelled. That birth doesn't take place. And unfortunately, you will hear the mother has a miscarriage. But the soul in that stomach is moved from that womb to another womb, to another womb, to suffer. Because so great is the sin when you enjoy argument between brother and sister, when you like to cause that argument, when you bring that strife, that sin causes a person to suffer life after life after life. The person, that lady who abuses the mother-in-law, who abuses the father-in-law, what is the karmic repercussion for this? That person who likes to quarrel with her husband, in public, scold him. The person who likes to abuse mother-in-law and father-in-law, in your next life you become a leech, or that type of animal that sucks the blood in order to live of another animal. A parasite, parasitic relationship, science students will call that. The person who publicly will scold her husband, that man that will defame and disrespect his wife in public, in your next life, this is where the loves come from. And you'll be that type of animal that sucks the scalp of an individual for your life, for your livelihood. And my last point here before I move on, the person who goes and abandons your husband, the person who goes and abandons your wife and runs after another person, no, this is where all those snakes that you see, those nice big black cobra snakes that you see on your National Geographic, go and become something that looks as if it has diamonds on its skin. very pretty, but is filled with venom, distrust, and dishonesty. Principal Shakti Mata ki. This is the training that Shukracharya gives to Indra. And he says, no matter where you are, you know, I remember growing up and hearing pundits talk about of all the different species, the human bird is the top. But there are people when they reach to the top into this human bird, as we all do, we make mistakes that pull us down. When you read in Gita, Krishna says the person who does sin, the person who does not see me, the person who doesn't understand my true form, I take him and I put him into the worst womb and I pull him down. And why is that significant? Because when you are born in the worst womb, what it means is you're going to have a home. When you are born in a home, in a place with parents that don't give you that strong foundation. I always make the point that in chapter 1 of your Gita, Lord Krishna declares that you are in Kali Yuga when the mothers of your home fail. When a mother fails to imbibe within her children correct actions, morals, principles, etc., what will that child grow up with? What type of children will he have or she have? What type of moral principle values will that person have? And this is why when Lord Krishna talks about the worst womb, he takes you from a womb where a mother will say, babe, cover your hair when you go to prayers. Son, bow to your father foot before you leave to go to school. And you go into a home where mother thinks, you know what, that's not important. Go and pick up your book. Go and study science. Go and do the book. And one day, you know, Rishi from on the tree, he can testify to this. When our young children, they pass through Ranaji, when they pass through UTT and they pass through UE and they get the wonderful degrees and they have all the accolades against their names, but they lack the moral values and they get their wonderful salaries. Many times none of them know what is charity. Where and what should I do with my money and my time? Because sometimes your time is more valuable than money. This is why sometimes our young children, they have the world of financial money, but they get themselves in so many problems with bad company. Shukracharya says, the people you surround yourself with, the conversations that you people Indra, this is the detrimental force to pull a person down. Principal Indra Harilaki. As he continues, Mam Asur begins to plunder and pillage with the blessings of his older brother. He goes off with the teachings of Shamba Asur. He uses the power that he has gained and he uses it for bad. He wants to be more powerful. He wants to be more rich. And he wants to do it very quickly. He wants to become very popular. He thinks to himself that he has to gain wealth in order to give his sons. And what does he do? He attacks Patal. He attacks the earth and all the kings, and one by one he destroys all of them. Untold mayhem, untold murder. Blood is flowing upon Mother. And she cries out. She cries out to Mahavishnu, she cries out to Brahma, she cries out to Shiva. May one of you, may somebody help me. Let's see what happens when the reply to motherhood is about to come. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Listening to the crying, listening to the call of Adi Shakti in form of motherhood. Male Baba says, he's my son. He's your son, O Devi. What can we do? We can't destroy him. Brahma and Vishnu, because of who that child is. Out of respect for Lord Shiva, they can't punish him. But Gajanan is the one, Ganesh is the one who gave the power. And they go to him. And Ganesh Baba, listening to the prayer of all the devas, he moves off, resolving that yes, he will help them. He will remove their problems. But what does he say? I remember. As he speaks to his mother in his mind, he says, Ma, look how funny this fool is. I remember when those same devatas would laugh at my big ears. I remember when they laughed at my broken tusk, that I was weak, that I was a weakling, that they were superior to me. And you, Ma, by your blessings, I became Pradama Poops. By your demand, I was put on that pedestal. You had that faith in me. Ma, do you remember when they had the competition in which I won? But they did it to prove my inferiority? Ma, may you bless me to be contented. Listen to the prayer of Ganesh. Ma, may you bless me to be contented with whom I am, with what I am, with how I look, how I appear. Because you know what? Mother, I realize, and we just heard it in Gertrude, that my physical outlook, my huge stomach, my huge ears, my small mouth, this bent trunk, which was bent by Parashuram. Mother, these features upon my body as a result of karma. This had to happen. I'm called Ekadanda because it had to happen. That tusk had to break. And Ma, I'm okay with who I am. I'm okay with how I look. But bless me to be contented. And Gyan then, Adi Shakti, Durga Ma, with that 8-handed red sari with the 2 earrings that Surya Narayan Swami gave her, holding the Trishul, holding the dand of Yamraj in her hand. She takes form in front of him and she says, son, whosoever on the Chout day do your worship, person that offers bread to you, that person that offers white flowers that have a sweet scent to you on that choke day, they will be blessed with contentment. That marriage where whether the female or the male is not contented with the amount of input from their spouse, that party, that other party that is not happy, that is not contented, that person will become contented. What are we talking about? Have you ever heard, as a part of that, I've heard it many times. I go to work and I cut trees, I dig drains, I tote cement, I work hard. But you have it easy. You stay at home and you cook roti. You tend to the children and your job is insignificant. Remove that lady from this equation and you have to live for a week. And you see how far you get. There are many people that demand from relationships, especially in marriage. I always want you, I want more, I want more, I want more. But they never stop to see if they are giving, if they are helping in that marriage. Or is it only that you've come here to serve? Because there are many girl children in today's world are fed up in their marriage. Many daughters are hurt because it is as if they were purchased into slavery. Because they get a slave master. In our songs today, you hear it. You hear it echo again and again. It is better you break up with that relationship because that man is not your manager. We laugh at it when we hear it on the radio, but it is a reality in life today. She says, son, that person who is praying to you with that white flowers, I bless you, son. May you shower their lives, may you fill their hearts. So, for the sake of the family, for the sake of their home, may they have contentment. Principle Adishakti Mata Ki Mother disappears, and Ganesh Baba, his heart is very full. And he goes to look for his brother. And he tells him, oh Mama Asur, stop this. It is time for you to desist from this course of action. You wanted to become powerful, but I didn't bless you with power for negative purpose. How is it you came from that same Shiva and Shiva as myself? But look at the road you have traversed. Look at the path you have taken. How could it be that we are both brothers? And one is very straightforward, one is very subtle, but you have turned out to be the opposite of straightforward. You have become cruel, you have become hurtful, you do not have compassion. Brother, you are very toxic in nature, you are very bitter. How is it that what wrong did our parents do to have this type of child come from their loin? Mama Asur, listening to these hurtful words from his brother, he gets very angry and he picks up a pickaxe and he's getting ready to run, to rush at his brother. And just as he is making the dash, Narad Muni says, no, comes between two of them. And he says, no brother, fighting an older brother, fighting any brother, this is not encouraged. How can you call yourself righteous when the God that is living between the heart of your brother, you cannot respect this person? He says, Mama Asur, people hurt people. But he says, when you look at the face of your brother, Ganesh, see the heart, see the personification of forgiveness. See the person that gives, he issues forgiveness. Then if you wish even in this last moment, O son, to ask for that forgiveness, ask him, beseech him, and you will have it. Do not make this mistake of rushing him, you will lose everything that you have. Do not go against him. He is Pratama Puj, he is that person who is more powerful than you realize. He looks meager, he looks small, he looks chubby, he looks loving, but don't question his power. Today, because of who you are, I would like to give you this advice. May you please heed my warning. Let's hear what happens when, having heard this, what does Mama ask you God? What does it mean? Pahi, 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 Gajanana, Parvati Nanda Gajanana. Bye. words of Narmuni, as many younger ones do. Move aside, Pandit. Move aside, teacher. Today, my brother, he has come here filled with motive. He has come here filled with intentions. Do I look as if I am weak? Now, are you warning me because I appear to be the weaker one? Because he's very fat, because he's very big, am I supposed to be intimidated by him? Move aside with your warning. Today I'm going to fight my brother. And Narad reminds him, do you remember what Guru Shukracharya told you? Do you remember you were warned not to oppose your brother? Do not do this. Nothing good will come out of this for you. And Mama Asura takes that pickaxe with the pointed top, and he charges at Ganesh. And Ganesh Baba, just as he did with Kromcha, that person that became the mouse by his feet, in a very calm, still looking at him as his childhood brother, his baby brother. He doesn't want to hurt him. He doesn't want to hit him. And what he does is, he takes the noose and lassos the brother's neck. And with the force of the brother's movement, with that motion, he allows him to trip one time, trip again as he charges, trips again as he charges. And he's asking him, brother, you calm now? Brother, you calm now? Brother, you tired of playing with me now? And Mama Asur continues to be very angry. He continues to be very upset. And Gajanan, being the person who has overcome that temper, that anger, is that person who is very cool. In sight of danger, in sight of detriment, he maintains that calm, stable nature. He says, brother, get up. Stand. When Mama Asur, when his body was totally weakened by exertion, he says, brother, today I forgive you. Today I release you from the effects of your teachings from that demon. He says, but you have to be the bearer of your karma. For that reason, I put strap upon you. That as a result of all your activity, as a result of attacking me as your brother, by listening and keeping the company of unrighteous people, low-minded people, brother, no worship will be done for you. You will not be representative of this family, and you will remain in the home of the demonic clan. I will always shower my forgiveness, my kripa upon any person that is looking for forgiveness. And I can see in your heart and mind, brother, you are sorry you stepped foot on this battlefield. You are sorry you made the mistakes that you made. But brother, I feel sorry for you, but more so, I empathize with my mother. Because when she comes to hear this, she's going to be good. Principal Shri Umapati Mahadevati. Devotees tonight, before we do our conclusion, I would like to pause whilst how will be done. Ranaji will give us a couple of chants, and then we'll do our concluding point.
जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति
So as I conclude tonight, firstly, this discourse is taken. There are two books that deal with Ganesh Baba total, and they are not full Puran. We say Ganesh Puran, but it's really Ganesh Upa Puran. And there was a sage by the name, the second book, there's a sage by the name of Mudgala. And Mudgala Upa Puran is where this discourse is taken. Secondly, as we dealt with tonight, the Tilsum of Mari Baba, this was a question that someone asked me if I've ever heard of it, and I did my research and I found it. It is real, and it just goes to show, similar to the discourse of Brahma. To recap that point, in the Shivratri discourse, Hindu people sometimes ask, we do Vishnu Puja, we do Shiv Puja, but we don't do no Brahma Puja. When you listen to the birth and the formation of Heruba, why he took form, and in a nutshell, because of the untruth spoken and whispered by Brahma. Nehru Baba is created by Lord Shiva, our Lord Shiva, this Lord Shiva, Shankar Baba. To punish Brahma. He takes off one of the heads of Brahma. If you look at Brahma's material, see two heads on one side, one head on the side. It was equally distributed. He started off the fight. And when he was about, when Nehru Baba was about to cut off another head, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu says, Prabhu, we need him. Madhav Baba, spare him. He did speak on truth, but forgive me, we need him to create. And Lord Shiva says, Lord Vishnu, because you spoke the truth, we are going to call you Satyanarayan Swami in the age of Kali. But in the age of Kali, O Brahma, regardless of your position, there will be no Brahma Puja, no Brahma Prasad, no Brahma flag, none of these things. Instead, because you are creative energy, your name will be called once when we not find out power. Because of the dishonesty, because of the activity of this person, he's displaced. And likewise, his mom, although he's born with great and virus people, God, because of his activity, he fell from grace. In this discourse, we discuss for the benefit of all, for the understanding of all. We hear from time to time when I do things and when they get a reaction. And we say it and we don't sometimes grasp the true gravity and the true detail in which it is listed in our text. Tonight we touched on a couple of those for people to just have an idea when you do certain things, what is going to happen, what is going to follow you later on. In addition to that, it is also written here, there is something called praschit karma. That when a person has already made a mistake, this is why we engage in good activity, prayerful activity. When you made a mistake, like what Mom did, Mom being the personality that is filled with opportunity, he's ripe with potential. Potential energy to just go forward and transform into whatever he would like to become. But because of the company he keeps, because of the guidance he follows, he falls very fast. But this happens to children from time to time. And we label them bad children, we label them bad people. And the truth is, in our dharma, there is something called praschit karma. Praschit karma means I've made mistakes and I would like to atone for my mistakes. God, before you punish me, I'm going to purge myself of that sin. Whether it be fasting, puja, whether it be seva, I promise I'm going to help this old lady across the road and I'm going to help sweep her yard, cut her grass. I'm going to do some service and I'm not going to look for payment. Dear Lord, you gave me the ability to play an instrument. I'm going to do it for you during this Ganesh Utsav. I'm going to play this instrument for you. I'm going to sing something for you, God. I'm going to get into my devotion. And I'm going to increase for you, God. Forgive me, I've made this mistake, I've made that mistake. But what is the key in all of this? The parents, the support. Going back to that term I used at the beginning. Nitya Nutya Beat. When you look at the German initiative where Ganesh Baba is swastika and the representative of Ganesh and the Aryan race and the entire caste system where everybody is blonde, blue-eyed in the German and Nazi thinking. That was the thinking and the science of the day at the time. Once your genetic code had certain things in it, you were considered to be holy and better than everybody else. And it stood for the basis of many racial, many bias, apartheid, and other different structures that separated people in this world and caused the damnation and destruction of many people. But after many scientific studies, after many different observations, you could take somebody comes from very cultured, educated parents, but you leave them to be lost in the wilderness of this world, to be taken information, guidance, opinions from any and everybody. And the best genetically built child will fall from grief. And this is my major point. Today we see many homes in trouble with respect to children and parents born. Parents come to pundits, as one lady was telling me last night, they want the easy fix. Pundit, my child is in trouble, fix it. Pundit, my daughter is going haywire. She's seeing this boy, that boy, everyone, and she's going crazy. Fix she. Give she something, tie something, get something, and tie she two foot together. Pundit, you do that. There are many parents today, because of their job, because of their schedule, are putting their children in the care of the daycare, in the care of the teacher at school, and the teacher in the school sometimes have to become the parent. And they imbibe something within them. They give them some form of goodness. And you leave your children to be brought up by their peers, and we end up with social problems. Parents today in the Hindu circle are failing to encourage their children in good company. How are children supposed to reflect good or be good when they are not given the opportunity of having a good example? If you are liming, if you are playing among children who are in praise, who are practicing good activity or a sporting activity or playing in a team or whatever, that is what they will emulate. But when all parents will do is line, enjoy themselves, and lead their children down that kind of life where there is no spirituality or no morality, what will your children bring back and show you? What will they reflect to you? I remember whilst I was growing up, they used to have a program when Sai Baba had his birthday. And in the local program that they have in Trinidad, I always remember, because I lost my dad when I was young, there was this little play, and in the play, the child says, Dad, I'm going to be just like you when I get big. Dad, when you grow up, I'm going to be like you. And in the story, the father is drinking, the child walks into the bar, Dad, I'm going to be just like you when you get big. Dad goes into the prostitute house, he forgets mommy home. Child, somehow, the child reaches there, and he says, Dad, I'm going to be just like you. One day the child gets big and he says, Dad, I'm divorced, I'm unhappy, I have no children, I'm just like you. That is the example some people live, because that is what you're showing your children. When you cheat in your marriage, what will your child do? When you don't make time for your children, will your children make time for you? Because when you make the time to invest with your children in satsang, on a Sunday morning in temple. In our temple we have service on a Thursday evening and a Sunday morning. Come anytime you want. The avenue is there to set the stage for your children's life. As I said, when you only give them academic, then they don't have the barriers and the gauges when they need the other parts of life. And they only have science. They don't have moral, they don't have spiritual, they don't have none of these things. In our katha tonight, as we conclude, please remember, what you expose your children to is what you're going to end up with. Do you want to have Mom Asura as your child, or do you want to have Ganesh Baba? The person who is concerned about what his parents will feel and think, what will happen to them? Or do you want to have a child that resents parents and their opinion? Principal Sri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai. Everybody, thank you again for listening. I hope I've answered all the questions. For those of you living abroad, I hope I answered and I did justice to your questions. Before we stand to the final arti, I'll ask Ranaji to lead us in a bhajan, fitting of arti. Please cast your hands as we do one last verse in this Shadapshar Stotra that we chanted at the beginning. And Parvati Mata says, Blessed is the person that will repeat this prayer, and by virtue of this prayer, by the Vardhan of Mahadeva, They're going to be happy in their marriage, happy with their children, brother and sister will be happy, husband and wife will be happy, blissful living. This prayer is written by Ravana himself, and he was happy as long as he was contented. Shivam Shantam Sharananathalo Anugratarakam Shivam Ekapadam Nityam Shikaraya Namo Namah Namanti Rashyo Deva Namanti Apsara Samganaha Naranamanti Devyasham Namo Namah Shadakshar Idam Stotram Yapate Shiva Sanido Shivalo Pravapnoti Shivane Sahamudati. And the person who chants this prayer, the person who calls out Mari Baba, Deva, Sadashiva, the person that remembers the Katha of Ganesh Baba, that person is going to be contented and that person is going to be experiencing bliss in his life. Principal Shri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai. Let us all stand. For those of you at home, and more importantly, for those people that have just the blessing, the good karma, they hear via the radio, those in Ward 10, those in different wards of the various hospitals, those of you that are elderly and lying on the beds in your home. If you can only close your eyes and you can't lift your hands, by the power of Manas Puja, sing Ganesh Baba here tonight, and let's all do arati. Karpuri Gaura Karunavadara Sarasaram Bhujitendram Saravasantam
Ganesh Sharanam Parama Pavanam Ganesh Sharanam Parama Pavanam Ganesh Sharanam Parama Pavanam Satyasayinam Nityam Smaranam Parama Pavanam Satyasayinam Gaganam Nityam Smaranam Parama Pavanam Satyasayinam Gaganam Nityam Smaranam Parama Pavanam Satyasayinam Gaganam Sadhguru Charanam Parama Pavanam Satyasayinam Gaganam Sadhguru Charanam Sadhguru Charanam Parama Pavanam Satyasayinam Gaganam Sadhguru Parama
Prabhu, by your grace, another night spent in satsang. And we thank you for the help and strength and the ability for that. Dear Lord, for those parents that are having a problem communicating with their children, Ganesh Baba, may you take a walk in their homes. Prabhu, those parents are talking, but sometimes it appears as if there's no one listening. And Nard was talking and warning, just as that son didn't heed that warning. There are some children going down that dark road. And these helpless parents are asking themselves, what wrong did I do to find myself in this position? Ganesh Baba, just as you got the confidence, just as you got the support from your mind in your moment when you questioned yourself, Ganesh Baba, bless these homes, whether through your divine energy or through the workings of your magic truth, person or human or friend or family. May you send that confidence, may you send that support for those parents. May you support those teachers, those counselors, you group leaders, the president of all these temples. Dear Lord, you bless the president and the executive of this temple. May you give them the energy to continue doing all the activities that keep the young people from going astray. Tonight, as we pray for their own support, for their own blessings and benediction in their life, Ganesh Baba, we thank you again for all that you do to remove the obstacles from our life. Everybody together in one voice.
Amen.
उमापति महादेव की, पौनपुत्र हनुमान की, श्री गणेश भगवान की, श्री आदि शक्ति माता की, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय जय श्री राम everybody. Sit down everybody. May you all please take the seats. Make yourself comfortable as Arti and Panchaman will be passing around. Let him do one or two house announcement. Please remember Wednesday night, President Abby, we've been talking along the line of children, getting children, people who can't have children, how to achieve children through the worship of Ganesh Baba, things like lemon seed and orange seed activity and offer mantras and fire, etc. When you have children, how to keep them, different things to do for your home. On Wednesday night, we'll be having the puja for children. Gifts will be given to children. And in this temple in particular, we take that very seriously. Young children will be flooding this temple and everybody is encouraged to come and join together and give whatever apple, whatever little you have. But come and wash your feet and do puja for these young children and send them a message that, you know what, we're worshipping you because of the God factor within you. And that is why that is done. Wednesday night will be our last reading. Thursday morning, pt2 is coming in at 7:21 a.m. The Visarjan of our Ganesh Murti will be done in the Lotians area in that river. Puja will begin in the temple roughly around 3:34 to finish in a time to get down there and release the Murti before the rising of the sun, which is the proper way to release this Murti in the waters, in the fresh water that came from. Everybody is encouraged to join. I understand very honestly if you can't, but if you would like to join, if you would like to take part, you're invited to do so. Also on Wednesday evening, we'll be having charhawe. If everybody would like to bring prasad, laddu, fruits, toothbrush, mala, whatever you would like to offer. Pandit Vishnu, Gosine Baba, they are here to assist with prayer, and that will be done starting from around 5 o'clock onward. I've been asked to announce that in the Hardozan Hill Mandir, the Durga Mandir of Hardozan Hill Devi, they'll be having Durga Devi Yagna from the 5th of October to the 11th of October. So tonight is Monday night, so we have 2 nights again. If anybody has any questions, if there's anything you'd like me to do, please touch me back and you'll have that. Remember, as you exit, you'll be collecting your food already packaged, ready to go. I would like to take the opportunity to thank Ranaji and his group tonight, Karan, for your assistance in everything. Thank you for adding to our vibration this evening. May God bless you all, group, to continue doing the good works that you have been doing. Sit around everybody.
Namaha.